So a very cold January weekend, I went to Sunset Park, Brooklyn, and visited the Brooklyn Army Terminal, which is a huge complex that has 11 buildings, but there's two main buildings, the Building A and Building B. And this video is mainly concerned with Building B. The Army Terminal was designed by Cass Gilbert, and it was built in 1918 during World War I. And it's a very interesting building. It has rail sidings inside the building. And then as you see, there are these staggered balconies. And the Army would bring in trains and unload them using that large crane in the middle, which could slide forward and back the whole length of the building. And those staggered balconies were where the loads were placed. So each balcony would access a different floor. It's actually a fascinating structure, and one that I've always wanted to go inside. As you can see, the sidings are no longer used, and there's two passenger cars in there now, former Long Island Railroad coaches. Some of the walls are painted with the names of places that the warehouse was storing items for, the Azores and Portugal. Here's those better view of some of those former Long Island cars. The whole structure fell into disuse and was eventually sold to the city in the 80s. Since 2017, it's been filled with incubator companies, warehouses, and startup businesses. The building was added to the National Register of Historic Places in 1983, and at the time it was built, it was one of the largest buildings in the world. It was completed after the end of World War I, and it was used in the Prohibition for storing seized alcohol. I've always been fascinated with the building, and I think it would make a very interesting industry on a model railroad. The way that the loads are taken from the train and loaded onto the different floors is I just found fascinating, and it would be a really neat, if nothing else, a diorama to show that vertical canyon space would be really cool to see. It's great that it's still around and in use, and quite a structure. Thank you for watching, and I hope you enjoyed this one. I realize it's a little tangential to trains, but it is a rail-served industry that is pretty interesting looking. If you enjoyed it, please leave a comment and consider subscribing. Thank you so much. I'll have a follow-up video of other train-related things in Sunset Park coming up soon. Thank you.